As we enter 2024, the second half of Elixir's Daydream 2 appraisal program is about to commence. So Daydream 2 is an appraisal well in our Grandis project in Queensland. This is a very large permit, 1,000 square kilometres. It's an appraisal program because the play was previously flowed by an extensive program that BG Group, now Shell, undertook around a decade ago. Now, just as an aside, Shell are back in the play. They're drilling away just now. Naturally, they're very discreet about what they do, but they are active in this play. What we did towards the end of last year was drill Daydream 2 to a depth of 4,300 meters. Now, based on our understanding, that's the deepest well in over a decade since that work that BG did. So it's a bit of a credit to our team to have done that, in effect, below budget, on time, safely, and it met all its primary objectives of encountering deep, thick sandstones and coals, which will be the subject of a stimulation program. We got a massive, unexpected success case surprise, and that was gas flowed to surface from a deep sandstone, about 4,200 meters deep, which no one expected. That occurred without stimulation and could really open up a highly productive new play in this area. So the excitement here is really driven by location. We're very proximate to infrastructure which can serve the East Coast gas market, which needs new supply and pays very high prices. It can also serve the international markets through the LNG plants at Gladstone, which have existing and growing spare capacity, and all in a region which has great service sector support. Oil and gas has been on the go here for 100 years. The community accepts it, and it's easy to do work in terms of weather, in terms of access, and all those things that you really need for successful development. So with that foundation, what we've been doing is building up contingent resource. We expect a lot more to come, and we expect to start to convert that to reserves as we move to a flow testing program, which will commence in the second quarter of this year and flow through to the middle of the year. So the logs that we obtained from this well have been analysed by our internal team together with external expert input. We've managed to correlate the sandstone which free-flowed here to a well which BG Group drilled more than 10 years ago called Dunk 1. And that correlation indicates that this play could extend very substantially aerially. That well's nearly 26 kilometers away. What that means, we believe, is that this is not just an isolated incident whereby we were just very lucky to clip a unique free-flowing zone. What we think is that this zone could be much greater in extent, and of course that adds a very thick layer of icing on top of the unconventional cake, and indeed could become the cake depending upon how future results. So DFITs are undertaken for a number of reasons to give data that feeds into the full-blown stimulation program. We will undertake 5 separate DFITs. One of them will be into this new zone. The other ones will be below that and above that into both sandstones and coals. And so we'll get a big suite of data from that to underpin the subsequent stimulation program. So we anticipate at the end of this month, so only about 2 weeks away, we will mobilize and rig up a coiled tubing unit, which will be the main device used to undertake these DFITs. So not far away. That DFIT process will take 6 to 8 weeks, and then we'll follow up with the mobilization of an extensive stimulation spread that will be provided by Halliburton, one of the globe's leading providers of stimulation services. We've already contracted them as we advised the market last year. What we've also done in recent weeks here is order the long lead items, which are primarily proppants. Those are the artificial, in effect, sands, which are used to prop up the zones which are opened up by the stimulation process. And so those get manufactured in China, and they will come to us post that DFIT process as we enter the stimulation stage. So in Mongolia, we still have our ongoing coal bed methane pilot. That's typical of an early stage pilot. You need to produce water and control that to ultimately release gas in a controlled measure. And that could take through the course of this year. And that's what we're planning there. We might add 1 or 2 wells to that pilot to boost that time frame. And that's under active consideration just now. Going back to Grandis, the results of the well post the flow testing will inform what we do next, and we're already considering the various options there. In this sort of project, we would look to bring in a partner at the right time, and so we'll be ramping up our efforts on that front too. And the results will really speak for themselves and assist in that partnering process. And then, as always, we look for new things to do that can complement our skills and assets. And we're always working on those things in the background. They might or might not come off. And so we look forward to reporting on that in due course as well.